go day streets before find some meats.
Stay by plan, stay by plan. All the girls, all the boys, for stay by plan. Stay by plan, across, stay by plan. All the boys, all the girls, for stay by plan. Stay by plan, stay by plan. All the boys, all the girls, for stay by plan. Just a stay by plan with Afi and Zuu. All the G's for our crowd, shall we there for you? If you also want to react, then that be cool. Hashtag stay by plan, shall we there for you? Hi guys.
Hi, Zuu.
Okay, so quickly before we start, just want to say, let me look into the camera. Thank you guys for coming to our live show. Thank you for supporting us. That was an amazing experience. You know, we had a great time. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was super amazing. I had
Super
fun.
amazing, yes.
I was nervous in the beginning, but like it went well. So thank you guys. And we'll be doing part 2 very soon. Everybody who browned, show up for part 2. Everybody who came, bring a friend. So yeah, without much ado, that's my new word.
Without much ado, without further ado.
We have a very special guest today.
Yep.
Who goes by the name of Eno, aka Talkative Mom, which I want to understand why that's name. And yeah, I'm super excited to have you here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
That's
very, very excited. This is my first time being like in a studio recording a podcast. I said my first podcast was last week on Zoom, but this is the first podcast experience that I'm having. So I'm excited.
That's good.
That's
good.
I love it.
So, can you introduce yourself? Like, who are you and why talkative?
Okay.
Like the talkative, like why talkative mom?
I don't know. I feel like people find the word offensive. It's like, you know, why would you even take a name like Talkative Mom and like Talkative, like, you know, but I'm like, it's okay if you love talking.
Yeah.
And I've always been a talkative. You too. Then you're doing the right thing because, you know, I've always been a talkative. I've always been part of the names of talkative, like things like that. Like I've almost been expelled actually for talking.
Wow.
In secondary school. Yeah, there was this like list. I don't know if I should call it like, it was like a super, it was like the talkatives in the school. Like they compiled a list. And I was like number 2 or like, was that number 1? I think number 1 or number 2. I don't remember. But it was like me, some of my best friends, like we're all in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then the headmistress said, I'm going to expel you guys because you talked during prep and we were all scared, but thank God, like, you know, it didn't happen. But anyway, so yeah, so I've always been a talkative and then I became a mom and I wanted to start a blog. I feel like I've told this story so many times, but yeah, there's a new audience. So let me just tell. But then I got married very early. Like I got married like 2 days before I turned 26.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so a lot of my friends were married. They didn't have kids.
You married?
Don't worry, it's not about me today. It's about Talkative Mom. Let's move on.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't have kids yet. So when they would come over and then I'll share my experience at the hospital, it was like, what? Like, what the hell? Like, how come no one is sharing this? And I was like, yeah, I feel like more people should know this. Yeah. So I was like, okay, why don't I start a blog? So it just like, that's how it happened. I told my husband about it and he was like, he's tech, you know, stuff. So he was like, oh, let me build it for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then he built it, but then he walked me through like, you know, how to post and upload, like stuff like that. And then, so when I was thinking, the name came instantly. Like, I was just like, oh, this is a blog, I'll be talking. So, yeah, Talkative Mom.
How many years ago was this?
Oh, this was in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, 2018.
That's really cool.
I had my baby November 2017, and then I launched it in March 2018.
Oh, okay.
So do you have just one kid now?
No, I have 2 boys. I have 2 boys, yeah.
Who doesn't like children?
Are you serious? Well, you know, I feel like it makes sense. Like, I love kids. Right? I love kids, but even I get frustrated with my own kids. Yeah. So I can understand. Why there are lots of work too.
It's a lot of work, a lot of time.
Like we're in class, and I'm like, Zuu doesn't like it. Like I really reported.
I know, right? You really reported me, but do you feel like you don't really have the time to do the things you want because a lot of your time is going to your kids?
I feel now things have settled.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I was really overwhelmed. And I mean, if you know my story, you know that I had my boys a year apart. So it's like when the first was 3 months, that's when I got pregnant with my second. So it was back to back. Yeah. And so it was like craziness. Like, and then at that time I wanted to go back to school. I got, what's it called? I got accepted into my master's program the day I found out that I was pregnant with my second. And, I was already in. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'm just going to like ride this wave.
Yeah.
So yeah, I managed, but then I managed because I got help. Like I had assistance from my mom, my mother-in-law, and then I also hired a nanny because, the oldies, they expect to have some help, assisting them. So I had to get a nanny. And at the beginning, I thought I was going to be like a superwoman. Hey, I can do it on my own. That sort of thing. But later on, you realize it's not realistic and you can't achieve anything. Plus, there are no awards for it anyway. So I'm like, what's the point? So I just got a nanny, and then she helped, and then I was able to go to school, but it was tough. I'm not going to advise anyone to do back to back. They say, oh, do it and get it over with, but please don't. Space it out. Like, just space it out.
I can imagine, because even just for me, just hanging out with other people's kids, I'm like, oh my God, just 2 hours, I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone. You're talking too much.
No, it's true.
Touching everything. When you tell them to stop,
it's crazy.
That's when
they don't get it. And that's the thing. Like, I always say, like, even my kids, like, I don't even think I know them like 100%. Because I remember back then, when I had my second, he came to show me Pepe. I have to tell everyone. Like, I feel like when I had my first, like, it was just like easy breezy. Like, I was like, oh, why do people even complain about that? He sleeps, he eats, he was doing everything. So I was like, oh, this is like cool. And then I had my second, and it was like, oh my goodness, like, what is happening? Like, nothing that worked for my first worked for my second. So it was like, I knew nothing. I had to like start all over. A whole new experience. And then when he came, like, I was feeding him one day. That's what brings me to what I wanted to say. I was feeding him one day, and everything was going well. Like, he's smiling, eating. All of a sudden, he just goes like, and then starts crying. And I'm looking at him like,
my God.
What? And that's the thing, they are unpredictable. Yeah. Just when you feel like you know them, then they switch up on you.
Yeah, my friends always laughing that babies are on crack. Like,
because
it's like, how can you just switch up like this?
And then you're suddenly there looking at it like, what's wrong? Like,
this can be
there's
real.
absolutely nothing. They'll just do them. The tantrums, they just do them. So, and sometimes in public, like at home, you video them and people feel like, oh, they're so cute. Then you go out with them and then it's like,
embarrassing.
That's the thing. For me, that's one of the things that really puts me off is that, like, when I go to, let's say,
baby party,
not even that, like ShopRite or something, and you just see some kid just
doing
the most. I'm like, bro, like,
control
at
your
least
child.
maybe wait till you get to the car. And then you can scream there, not in front of everyone. Everyone's just looking like, everybody, people will give this side eye.
To be honest, I used to be one of those people until my sister had kids, and then I understood. I always used to be like, control your child. But now I've really seen that it's very difficult.
It's the child that controls the parents.
Yes. Or even like maybe when you see people and then their kids are not sitting in the car, like the baby seats. And I'm like, hey, what kind of irresponsible? But now I get it because you are even safer at sometimes just putting them on your lap than putting them in there, because the kind of things they are doing in there. They will hurt them.
It's a lot. Like it's a learning curve.
So like you said you had kids early.
Yeah.
So being young, so I'm assuming that most of the people around you, like your friends around your age, didn't have kids.
No,
so like one of the first people to have kids.
Yeah.
How was it for you, entering that whole experience when everybody else is still like
jamming?
Yeah.
Jamming, essentially.
So honestly, it was very hard. Let me explain. Both my sons, I told you a year apart. So they were both born in November. So it's November 20, November 23rd. And then, this is very close to Christmas.
Yeah.
So just when everyone was jamming, me, I'm at home.
Oh my God.
With my baby. And then at some point with my babies. Because when I had my second, the first still was a baby, technically. It was a year.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get it. And then I have a crime. I was like, what have I done?
Yeah.
And then I'll be on Snapchat and everyone is out. I'm telling you, like, it was because, I told you the first was in 2017, the second was in 2018. That was when like Ghana Christmas was like,
that's
the kidnapping.
Year of return.
It was coming, like things were. So I was like, okay, like, what have we done? And my husband and I are the same age. Yeah, he's just a few months older than I am. So it's like, it's not like I married like an old person who's going to be telling you, let's be responsible. Like, he's like, what have we done? So yeah, it was very hard. It was really, really hard. But, it's behind me now. But yeah, it was hard.
Yeah. So are you thinking of having more or you're done?
So,
This
okay.
question.
So our
This question.
question,
Okay.
yeah.
So before I got married, I said, I want to have 3 kids. And I always said I wanted to have 2 boys and a girl.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a girl I wanted, really.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I just want the girls to be like a princess and then, have the 2 boys protecting her.
Yeah.
And then I had my first. It was very hard. I mean, the birth,
The birth process,
very, hard.
Yeah.
Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So I was like, hey, do I want to do this again? And then I got pregnant.
So that one day you didn't have a choice.
So I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So when I had the 2, I told myself, I'm done. But then later I was like, but I always wanted a girl.
Yeah.
My husband, he was done when we had the first. He
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Like, he was done.
I'll
I won.
not
He
do
was
it
okay.
again.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant. So, so he's like, he's done. He's still done.
Yeah.
But me, something I'm like,
Sometimes.
maybe I want. Yeah, today, if you ask me today, no, I don't want to have any more.
Yeah.
But tomorrow you ask me and I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It keeps changing. But my husband definitely is done. So if people are able to convince him and he changes his mind, then. And you see, the other thing too is that there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That what if we end up with 3 boys?
The 3
Like,
boys, yeah.
that,
Because there's a lot of people who
Militants,
have,
like my sister.
you see people like
It's
5
another
boys.
boys.
Yes. Not
Wow.
Mercy now, my other
Your
sister.
other, she has 3 boys.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear that, I'm
Militants,
like,
it's crazy.
But
oh.
she was trying to have a girl, right?
I don't know if she's going to try
But
again.
that's the thing. It's like you keep trying, you end up with like,
Yeah,
Because I know people who have like 5 boys.
yeah, because I have 5 brothers. And then I don't know, and I know it's the guy, it's the X and Y chromosome, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always feel like I could, because it's possible.
Are your brothers all older than you?
So my 3 brothers are older, and then
Okay,
my 2
are younger.
Yeah, younger, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Girls.
So I don't know.
But then when it comes to like Instagram, your blog, now a TV show, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Do you sometimes feel like, hey, I'm really putting my family out there and like everybody can see what my children look like and what my life is like? Like, is this the right thing to do?
Yeah. So let me tell you something. The reason why I know this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing is I have never been afraid.
Mm.
My pregnancy video,
Mm-hmm.
which was shot by Selassie, by the way.
Hey, shout out to Selassie.
Yeah, I released it before I give birth. And I know in Ghana, like culturally, like, you have to hide the pregnancy,
Yeah.
and then they share the maternity photos and the videos and things after.
Yes.
Mine was before. I really didn't. Okay, it's not like I'm not superstitious. I am superstitious to like sometimes certain things, like I'll be like, okay, maybe I wouldn't share. But I don't know, when it comes to my kids, I don't know what it is. Like, I just feel like nothing can happen to them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just Instagram. Like, that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've never, I've shared them. If for those who've been following me from day one, I've shared them from it wasn't from day one when they were born. Somewhere like 2 months, 2-3 months, I started to share them, and then I never stopped. Yeah, I've never had any issues with it. And I know I have friends who do have issues with it. I know people who have issues with it.
So there are some people do you think there are some people who like jab you low key that like, hey, this is
Definitely.
extra?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, being extra.
They've never told me, but I know.
Yeah.
Because they haven't shown their kids. So I can imagine they're like, hey, no, she's not doing the most. Like,
She's really doing the most.
yeah, like she was sharing her kids. Is it safe? Me, I feel like there are certain things that I won't do. For example, I won't share their school.
Yeah.
I'm not there with them.
Yeah.
I won't, their uniform. You realize I'm very intentional. I wouldn't show their badge. I don't want anyone to know where. If you find out where they go to school, fine. But I wouldn't share it because I'm not there. Or like we are somewhere and like share the
in real
location.
time,
Yeah, real time. Most of the time I've left and then I'll share where we were. So there are certain things I wouldn't do. But apart from that,
it's not that deep.
yeah, I'm like, I even feel that doing that has helped.
Yeah.
And it also sort of helped change that whole narrative of like,
keep everything to yourself.
because the thing is that for me, I'm like, if you're a mom blogger, how can you be a mom blogger and hide? Yeah, it's like, if you're opening up. That's just who I am.
Fact.
Open up. If you're going to be extra.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so that's me.
So I want to go back a bit to like the because you said your birth, especially your first birth, was tricky.
Yeah, very.
For me, like as a man,
Yeah.
and in Ghana as well,
Yeah.
nobody really talks about the birth process.
Right.
As I feel like a lot of people have complications, they have like troubles that people don't even speak about.
Yeah.
So for me, especially as a man, I had no idea. But like during lockdown,
Yeah.
like I joined TikTok,
Okay.
and then there was the ad for some reason they were showing me a lot of like pregnancy.
Whoa.
It's a sign.
It's not a sign. A lot of like pregnancy. People were just sharing more like about I had this complication, I had this issue, And I'm like, the whole time I just thought people just get pregnant and then they give birth. And sometimes you hear that, oh, they had complications, but nobody tells you what the complications are. You know. So have you ever shared your complications like publicly through your Talkative Mom?
Yeah, I have. I always do. One of my most popular blog posts was on labor. Labor, I went there. Like, and it was shocking and like revealing, candid, everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, like you would read my blog and you see things like, and then my vagina and they said the things. Like for me, like I go there.
Yeah. Go there now because I'm actually confused because these conversations are not had in homes, and I think it's bad.
It's very, very important.
Even when you get married, they don't. Your parents don't really have those conversations with you. Like, oh, your mother will say, oh, when you go and give birth, this is going to happen or that is going to happen.
So
like,
you can go.
In summary, what was it that bad?
It was like no. So I'm not trying to scare anyone.
Scare them.
See, the thing is that everyone's birth experience is different.
Yeah.
Mine was very traumatic because I went into labor for 2 days.
Jesus Christ.
See, and that's the thing. Like being in that amount of pain for even over 24 hours, it was just mad to me. And
is it like cramps?
Worse. It's like cramps on steroids because I've always had bad cramps like from GSS, and then when labor starts, it's like cramps. So I was like, oh, okay, I've experienced this thing, so I can do it. So I was like, oh. And then I get to the hospital and they're like, oh, they were like, labor started, but active labor has not begun. And I'm like, wait, so all this pain I'm feeling is just for nothing? We're like, oh yeah, like, so then they like go home and then come back.
Where?
Yeah. So I was sent home. And then, I was sent home and then, you guys want me to go there?
Oh, please okay. Go there.
So I went home and, I managed to sleep, actually. I managed to sleep for a while. And then I woke up maybe after 2-3 hours and I wanted to pee. So when I went to pee, I saw there's this thing called, a mucus plug. Yes, mucus plug. So it's like mucus mixed with blood. Mm-hmm. I saw it in the toilets, like after I'd peed. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, I think this is a sign that I'm going into labor. So I called the hospital. I tell them, oh, I've seen they were like, oh, then come. So at that time, the pain had started. I didn't know it hadn't gotten to it was still building. So my husband, puts me in the car, we dash, we get to the hospital and then.
What time was this? What time was
this? Okay. So labor began Saturday evening.
Okay.
Late afternoon, evening. I'd gone for someone's graduation dinner, friend's graduation dinner, and I started to feel uneasy. And I said, okay. I went to my mom. She brushed it off. She said, oh, it hasn't started. Your due date is even. Because I had my baby at 38 weeks, and 40 weeks is full term. So she's like, oh no, you give her 40 weeks. I'm like, So I left, I went home. So throughout the night, I was feeling uneasy, but it was like cramps, but not really. And then so the next morning, which was Sunday morning, Sunday dawn, we rushed to the hospital. And then that's when they said active labor hadn't begun, so I should go back home. So I went back home, took a nap, woke up in the morning, Sunday morning, and then saw the mucus plug. And then we went back to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, they said, oh, I'm 3 centimeters dilated and you're supposed to be 10 centimeters dilated. So the pain, I hadn't gotten anywhere yet. So, wow. And then it was crazy. It's like, you can't even cry because it's so painful. Just when you're about to then the pain starts. The pain interrupts.
Does it come in waves? It comes and goes down?
Yes, it comes and goes down. For at the beginning, it comes, it's like you time it. So
it starts to get closer and closer.
It starts to get closer. Before you realize it's
one long pain.
Constant pain.
Now it's just, when it gets there, then you know that, okay, you're due, you're almost there. Yeah. But before you have some breaks. So maybe under a minute, it's just when you're about to cry, then a pain starts and you're just so then the nurses will tell you, go and walk around, go and do this. And it's you can't, I'm walking and it's just crazy.
The pain is radiating through your whole body.
My whole body. So I find, and I hadn't slept. Yeah. That's the thing. I hadn't slept. So then I told and my husband was there. My mom was also there. And I honestly, I couldn't stand it. I was just like, you guys, you have to go. Because it was all they were helpless. Yeah. All they would say is, oh, you'll be okay.
I will not be okay.
Just you guys don't even know what I know my mom had been through it, but I was just like, my husband, you don't even know what I'm doing.
Shut up.
Just go. So I made them go because it was Sunday midnight. Yeah. And still I hadn't had my baby. Yeah. So I was like, you go home, go and rest. And then, So when the minute they left, one of the nurses told me she could give me a painkiller. The thing is, it will delay labor, but I'll be able to rest. And I said, just give it to me. And so she gave me a very mild one, which allowed me to sleep for, I think, an hour or 2 hours. I forgot, I think 2 hours. And then so I slept. When I woke up, I went to the washroom and I was bleeding. And I said, no, this is a bad sign. So I called them. But honestly, nurses at hospitals, like, I mean, they are good, but sometimes they are just like,
so nonchalant.
Yeah, it's like,
we've
we've
so
seen
many
this.
times.
Too many
So
times.
they weren't really, I was like, you guys, but I mean, after some hours, finally they came to check. And another thing I want to mention, so dilation, that's one of the things that I shared in my blog that people didn't know. We all thought, oh, dilation, when you're checking dilation, it's like there's a machine they strap on you and then, but it's a nurse inserting their fingers into your vagina to see how far you dilate. Like, see, is the baby drawing closer? That's what
So they'll put their hand and check.
And check. So you are in pain. And every few hours, someone comes and inserts their fingers in there. All the way. Sometimes they'll go and twist. When I share this story, people are like, what?
How far down? Like,
wow. Like really in there, like deep in
Sheesh.
there. And then, so it's like, it's just the worst. Honestly, it's just the worst. It's just the worst. But I want people to know the truth. That is what happens.
No, it's important because I think the truth is some people just gloss over it. You know what I mean?
Because you cannot be now experiencing all this I know as experience, like as it's happening is now that you are knowing about it. I don't think it's good.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
You should prep your mind
for
a
me.
little
I feel
bit.
like it would just be a shock. For a lot of people, it would be a shock. Like, what's going on?
Why are you putting your hand
And you
there?
might
Like,
panic as well. Yeah,
I think
if you don't know
it's
about
better
it. So I think
I panicked. Yeah, I didn't know about it.
So I think it's really important that you share these things. And
Yeah.
So when you have your third, child,
If I do.
I feel like you will. Yeah. So if you do, let's say if you do,
Yeah.
I think for sure. Yeah. Just keep sharing it and just let everybody know. Because me, I had no idea. It was literally just last year, like COVID times. I was finding out that some people lose their teeth.
Yeah.
And
Voice.
it's like crazy.
Some people, there's a lady whose voice, she has a deep voice now. Like, and her voice was really small. And that was hers.
Because she was screaming so
like,
much.
yeah. No, it was just, it happened when she got pregnant.
Like pregnancy.
She just gradually lost her, her voice broke, like, and now it's like a man, like, sounds like a man, like, yeah. And I met her, when I met her, her voice was already deep. I didn't know and she was like, this wasn't how I sounded before I had my babies. Yeah. It's like so many things, like you can lose, like people lose.
So what
their
happened
hair.
to you? Did anything special happen to you or your body?
My body, no. I think I just experienced everything during labor. Yeah, so for me, one thing that I would say changed was I had an episiotomy. So people who don't know that, it's like they'll do an incision. If the baby can't come out, they have to do an incision there, like at your private part of your vagina. To bring the baby out. And that was like, my husband has still not forgotten that because he was right there. Like he's like,
drama.
He's like, that's the one thing he will never forget.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
God.
when we went there, we just thought I'll go push. But you see, because I'd been in labor for so long, now all my energy was gone. I couldn't even push.
Yeah.
So when they were saying push, and they were like, no, we need to cut. And at that time, I was just like, oh, go ahead and cut. Because I just thought, what? And then they just went in and just snipped and
Could you
blood.
feel it?
I felt I screamed. Like, it was so painful.
Like, literally like someone using scissors
So
to cut
it was
you.
just like that, like just someone using scissors, just cut like your flesh, like just cutting. Like that's just what it was. Like I was just like, what?
That's crazy.
So he was the one seeing it. I was the one feeling it. So he just like never. That's why he was done at one. Because when we had that one day, he was like, no, I don't want to go through this again. So that was what I experienced. But I mean, I got staged, like all those things happened. I got healed eventually and all that. But I mean, it was just really.
So I can really imagine how you guys felt when 3 months later,
there's another
you
child.
know that you're pregnant and you say, oh my
I was
God.
pregnant.
But the experience with your second child, how did that
It
go?
was
better?
Yes, it was much better. Polar opposites. Like he, I think he was in a hurry to come out because he came 3 weeks before his due date, and it was just like my water didn't break with my first, but my water broke my second, and right from there it was like we went to the hospital. It was like you're in labor. Like it was just quick.
Yeah.
And he came out, and another fun fact: both my boys were born same time, 6:20 a.m. 6:20 a.m.
Okay, that's cool.
I feel like he wanted to make that time because it was like
Why are you
quick.
so much?
It was so quick. I didn't have the episiotomy. I did have a slight tear, but it wasn't too serious. So yeah, with him, it was just it was an easy birth.
But the first one the first one showed you in the labor one, but the other one showed you Pepe in real life.
After,
But even thinking about it, maybe you think it's an easy birth because you had gone through that first experience.
That's what everyone says, but
I
no.
don't think so.
Was it?
Because you see, the thing is, the pain, the birth was still very painful. I mean, I didn't feel like, it was still very painful, but it was, looking at the time, it was quick.
How long did the second one take?
Oh, the second one, I went into labor around 4 a.m. and by 6:20, because we went to the hospital, all that, did everything. By 6:20, he was out.
But
so
the first one was 2 days.
No, it was Saturday evening, and then I had him Monday morning. So I mean,
2 hours and 2 days. That's crazy.
So I'm like,
oh my god, this
so it makes sense that
sorry.
he's bringing the stress in real life. It's cool.
Yeah, he's busting
cool,
in real. Right now,
I would prefer that.
You prefer which one?
Like
the stress in real life.
The stress after the birth.
Yeah, at least that one you can do it with your wife. You can help.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
I don't. Which one would I? I don't know. Because the stress.
And the stress is serious.
It's also hard. I don't know which one. But yeah.
But then the whole like being at home whilst others were like jamming, did it bring the whole postpartum depression thing? Is it real?
Oh, it's real. So I experienced postpartum depression with my first, but not with my second. My mom experienced postpartum depression. So she saw the signs when I was experiencing, she saw the signs really quickly.
So it's literally a thing.
Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing. And from even my mom is from a different generation.
Yeah.
And she says that she experienced it. She didn't even want to go home. She cried every single day for like she said weeks. And yeah, because the thing about postpartum depression is that sometimes certain things trigger it. So with my mom, I don't know if you guys are ready to hear this, but she also had an episiotomy. The unfortunate thing for her is at the hospital, the scissors they were going to use to cut hair was blunt. So you can imagine what that was like.
Yeah.
You can imagine
they were just
cutting,
going and going.
It was crazy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but yeah.
We need to hear
so it's like, and she went through, that's just like a little bit of what she went through so much over there at the labor ward. Because back then, like,
everybody's just
so after the birth, it was like, she just went straight into depression because she was experiencing the pain, remembering all that happened to her. Like, there was a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know? So she went through that for a while. Mine, same thing, because of the 2 days and then the cuts and all those, all the things I went through after that. Also, I couldn't breastfeed. The breast milk would come, but just in bits. And then this baby would be crying. And I felt like such a terrible mom. And my mom didn't see the signs very early. At the first few days, she didn't see the signs. So she was also putting pressure on me, like, hey, no, why are you not breastfeeding? Like,
and the baby's mouth there to come.
And I'm not talking about, like, people are imagining what I'm saying. I'm not saying like this was happening like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I'm talking about 2 a.m., 1 a.m.
Yeah, but everyone is asleep.
The baby's screaming.
The baby's screaming.
Oh, God.
There's no whatever. You haven't healed. I couldn't sit properly for a while, like maybe 2 weeks. Like I had to sit on I had this breastfeeding pillow with a hole in the middle. So when I sit, so that my whatever doesn't touch the couch.
Painful.
So imagine you're sitting on something like that. You're trying to breastfeed. And also another thing about breastfeeding is that people don't know, when you're breastfeeding, your uterus is contracting. So it's going back to the original state. But contraction means it's like the same thing as labor.
Yeah, so it's causing
it's causing that you are breastfeeding. Please combine all these things and then tell me you won't get into depression. Like, I was just like depressed for the longest time. And then, people say all these things about formula. Right now, I advocate for everything. From whatever works for you. Formula, breast milk, whatever. But I had to give my baby formula. And at that time, I felt so guilty,
like a
so
failure,
terrible.
Lisa,
I was like, why would I do? My body is failing me. Like, it was just very, very
crazy.
hard. And then I also felt no one understood because I didn't have any friends who were going through that. No one had opened up to tell me. And my husband, he didn't understand. It was just like, you have a baby. Like, this is not the period to be happy. Like, why are you? And I'm like, you were in the labor ward with me. Like, I felt
exactly
like, why would you? So honestly, it was just very hard. But it was later on when my mom started to see that, like, because we went. The other thing too is that even through that, I was still a wife. Like, I still had to go grocery shopping and things. So I remember I went grocery shopping. Yeah, but I went with my husband.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I remember I went with him one day. We came home. We went without the baby. The baby was at home with my mom. We came home one day. I remember I didn't even close the door. I opened the door, went inside, went to my room, shut the door. Like, I didn't want to, like, be around anyone. Like, I was upset. It was just a lot. And then your body has also changed, right? I couldn't even recognize myself. Recently I saw a picture of me, like,
then
I had locked my hair. See, I locked my hair right after I got married. I locked my hair. So when you lock your hair and your hair is short, like, it has this look. So I had that like ras look. My nose, everything is big. My feet are swollen. I've not healed. I can't breastfeed. Like,
Yes, a
Imagine
lot of
Just
just
look-
too much
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
I didn't recognize myself for a long time. And it's like I'm crying every day. I'm crying every day.
So then the depression is not really that, hey, everybody's having fun and then I'm here. It's also,
that
there.
plays a role, but
What
physically,
is the fact that I'm going through all these changes that I wasn't ready
I
for.
was going through all this.
Right.
There were times, another thing that you do a sitz bath. If you're trying to heal, you have to do a sitz bath. So a sitz bath, locally, you just sit in a basin with warm water, like warm, not too hot, warm water. And then, that helps heal. But now there are other like fancy stuff that you can do. But I did the local one. So sitting in that thing, oh my gosh. Like you're just like soaking in everything and just like amazing.
So you said your mom kind of recognized that you were going through postpartum.
She did.
So when she was going through it, or even you, let me start with you.
Yeah.
Did you know about it before?
Oh, I'd heard about it, but it was one of those things that you feel like, probably just the West, like the whites,
Yeah.
they are the ones who go through. Honestly, I didn't think
Yeah.
I didn't think it was real.
Yeah. So at least you knew about it,
Yeah.
but did your mom know about it?
My mom, funny enough. So my mom, she was very well read at that time. She bought a lot of books.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom, I don't know, I would say she's not your typical, she did a lot of things that I feel like, wow, that was before like her time. But yeah, she bought a lot of books, so she knew about it. But she also didn't think she could experience it, so she did. But the other thing that my mom never told me that she went through that.
Exactly.
She only told me after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if she had told me, that would have helped.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she didn't tell me. So, but she's sharing it after. I would say it, even though it's kind of late, but it helped me.
Yeah.
It helped me know that like it was normal. Like, yeah.
So aside you being talkative mom, I guess so that now all this is a platform for you to share this story.
Yeah.
So do you have any other projects, or do you know other women who are like now being more open about this story? Because in Ghana is not really. I don't know, so I'm asking you, like, what is the environment now in Ghana?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely it's gotten way better. Because I was saying that I started my blog in 2018. You think 2018 was just like yesterday.
Yeah.
And even at that time, no one was really sharing things like that.
Yeah.
There were one or two mom blogs that I found out later that they were there. Then I didn't know. But they were just sharing things like, recipes, you can make things like that. Not
fun, nice things.
Not their actual lives. So yeah, when I started, it was relatively new and like shocking, like I said. But now more and more people are opening up. And I think it's because they've seen the reaction that people have gotten from mine. Like people have seen that, people have realized that, people do appreciate when you open up this much, and then it's like it helps them. Yeah. Because when I started, my mom was not in favor of what I was doing at all.
Okay.
It was like, what's like, why are you sharing so much? Like,
it's not necessary.
Yeah. And then it took one person at church. There was a woman who walked up to her one day randomly and told her, like, your daughter has really helped me. Like, and she was like, wow. Like, when she realized it was making an impact, it wasn't just like you're sharing for Kokonsa people to just go and have something to say. So it was like, okay, this makes sense. And then that's when she really started to support it and everything. So since then, I've other mom bloggers, and I'm friends with like almost all of them. At least the ones I know. I know a lot. Like I know, they're quite a number. And I'm sure even this coming year, 2022, I'm sure more people are having babies, and
more people are being open.
More people are being open. So yeah, now it's much, much, much better. Yeah.
And your husband has always been like 100%.
He's like, I don't know what I'll say I will do that he wouldn't stop. Like he's just like, he's one of those, like happy. He's chill. He's just if it makes you happy, he's not, nothing is deep for him. Like he's not like, oh, like, hey, you're doing, he's just like, oh, do you? Like he can walk in and I'm doing something crazy and then you just close the door and like, he doesn't like,
it's like, you know what?
Do you? Yeah. He's like laid back. He doesn't mind. Like,
I think that's important too, because another thing I have noticed that a lot of Ghanaian women go through is that they don't have enough support from, especially from their husbands. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
And I think it's important that you have that like support system, not just from your family, because obviously your family will support you no matter what, but from your spouse. But some people, before they have kids and after they have kids, it's very different. Do you know what I mean? The husband is just not the same guy. He's not supportive enough. Because of like your body changes and all these things.
That's one of my greatest fears.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you just have to find the right guy.
That's my body will change.
Oh,
and I'll be sad. And then the person too is also not helping.
Not helping,
Didn't become so fat.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like I know some women personally who are in like the mom blogging space, and I know they would have shared much more if they had support from their spouse or like even their family. Because you're saying some family support no matter what.
I was about to say,
but no, not always.
No, I don't mean like support you like,
but like they don't
posting.
have a choice. It's like
not support in posting, but support in through your postpartum depression. Like,
okay.
Maybe you're talking about like putting yourself out there, support.
Yeah, I know some of them. Yeah, they don't have that support, so it's like a lot of time they're always asking me like, "Hey, how do you know?" Like, honestly, I'll just say that I didn't do any. Like, it's just because I just have a husband.
Yourself,
that is just who he is. He just really doesn't care. So I think having that supportive spouse has helped a lot. It really has. And plus he's the one who built the blog and even the app that I have.
Nice.
I mean, the support is there. And another thing I'll add is the app, he wasn't always on board.
Okay.
It wasn't like I told him and it was like, okay, let's get to work.
Yeah.
Like for him, it's like, show me why we need this. Like every day people are like building apps, like, what's so special about this and all that.
So tell us about the app.
Yeah, so the app is also called Talkative Mom. You can download the App Store, Google Play. And the thing about Talkative Mom is it's the first and only parenting app in Ghana. I don't even want to call it a mom app. I want to be inclusive. So now that's also part of it. Actually, everyone can download if you're curious about motherhood. So what I wanted to do was, I have a blog and I had wanted to convert the blog. Like I wanted to have a mobile app that you could read the blog post on. But I was like, no, I want more than that. So I said, why don't we have a search engine? Like a small search engine in there. The reason why I did that was almost every day I get DMs like, oh, where did you get this? Oh, where do you buy? Oh, wow, right? That sort of thing. It's like always questions. So I was like,
just put
let me put all the questions in there.
Yeah.
Any question I've ever been
answer
asked.
them once and for
all. And then whenever anyone asks, you just get the answer. So I put them there. And then I also did a lot of Q&As on my page, and lots of Q&As like what breast pump do you swear by? What is that sort of thing? So the answers, I put them all in there. So now you're able to get, so I have that little search engine in there. It's called Mom Plug. It's like a movie plug for, And then the next feature is the marketplace. The reason why I included the marketplace was I didn't want you to maybe ask what you can feed your infants. And then I'll say Tom Brown. And then you don't know where to get like a good Tom Brown to buy. So I said, we need to have products in a marketplace so that when the results pops up after
you can also actually buy.
You can actually buy. And at that time, I had built a relationship with a lot of vendors.
Right.
Yeah. So then, I called all of them up. I told them about this. They were all excited, and then they all registered. I mean, it's a paid thing, but it's like a small fee, and then you're on. So yeah. So I got credible vendors because I didn't want. That's the thing. There are lots of scammers on Instagram. So I said, let me get.
Zuu is vegan.
You are?
So he can help you with like vegan recipes.
So, I
don't really report to you today. But help with like vegan recipes that like help women who are vegan to like go and do your research. Breastfeeding.
I would have to, because
I'm pushing you in.
I've not had a child before,
yes,
but I do follow. I can share some pages with you. People who are vegan and like raising their kids vegan and
nice.
Yeah, because that would be a good thing to discover.
So the third feature is the blog. That's what I mentioned. And the last feature, the blog. One thing I've added to the blog is I didn't want it to just be my stories. There are other mothers who have shared their stories, but that was even happening on the blog at the beginning. And then now I also have specialists, like experts. So I have like a gynecologist sharing a blog post, speech and language therapist. Like I want to make sure that everything is there.
Perfect.
And then the last feature is the listing. So the listings have like lists of like hospitals, again, pediatricians, gynecologists, dentists, like all.
Then I'm signing up soon.
Oh yeah, you should. So
I think you should add the period calendar thing. Is it already there?
No, it's
that
not.
Would be very simple.
That's an idea.
And then we are good to go. And we'll all join. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. So that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I think me myself, I'm going to download it just to see. I just want to see. I want to see what's happening in the motherhood space.
Right?
Because who knows? You might be a father.
Honestly, I hope not. But you never know what happens in the future. So.
And then how about the TV show?
The TV show, yeah. So my TV show just launched on MX24 just last Sunday, 10th October. Yes. And basically what we want to do on the TV show is I want to interview women.
Right.
Not just women. women and men, but I want them to tell the other stories that we don't hear about.
Nice,
so,
perfect.
for example, this Sunday, I haven't told anyone, but this Sunday we have a
Exclusive.
midwife. We have a midwife coming on, and there's this notion that midwives are mean and all that.
Yeah.
So she's a midwife who is also a mother. So she's been at the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted her to share her story, her birth, and then also why midwives are termed as mean.
Right.
And also, they also experience losses. Like, even when they're like, imagine you've taken a woman through 9 months and then you go and give birth and it's a stillborn.
It's just as painful for you.
It's just as painful for you. So they also go through all these psychological trauma and stuff like that. So I wanted her to share that bit, like the human side to all these things.
Yeah.
So we have that. The first episode, I had a blind woman. She was a mother of 4.
Okay.
She's married to a man. He's not blind. None of her kids are blind. But she's never seen her babies before.
Yeah.
And it's very hard in Ghana. If you are physically challenged, it's hard to access. Like we don't think about them.
Yeah.
So she also shared her story. So there are all these interesting stories that I wanted us to share, and I wanted us to be very, very inclusive. We would also have women who are struggling with fertility.
Right.
On the show as well.
Good.
You can talk to like single fathers too.
We'll talk to single fathers, single fathers as well, definitely.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, and it's not just a discussion show. So we have that bit. We also have like live demos. So we work out, we cook,
fun.
And then we also shed light on women-owned businesses as well. So it's like 3 segments. And
I'll definitely be tuning in.
Please
Sounds really good.
Yeah,
and everything you said makes so much sense. I think it's things that we need to talk about for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, I had no idea about not even half of all these things that you said today.
Yeah.
But just by chance, I happened to find out about it. I'm like, is this like a white people thing? Or,
It's all of us.
Only for me to realize it's really a thing in Ghana as well that women go through so much.
Yeah.
Just before, during, and after pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important that you spread the word. You let people know, and I really respect what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to say that if you are out there and you want to start anything, please just start.
Just start.
Just do
like
it.
all the things that I'm saying that I'm doing now, all just started because of a blog.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like, just start and then just be consistent, and I'm sure you can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So just to wrap up, one thing we like to do on Stay by Plan is or 2 things.
Okay.
Please tell us who you'd like to see on the podcast. And if you can help us get them, that will be a plus.
Okay, who I'd like to see? Interesting. I was like, all the people in my mom bloggers, okay. Someone comes to mind. I don't know if he will want to, but there's this amazing designer.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Boydo.
Okay.
So I've been working on a Glasgow campaign with him, and he is just amazing. The reason why I want him on the podcast is his story.
Yeah.
He wasn't always a designer,
right?
And this just happened 3 years ago or something. He hasn't been designing for a long
time,
but it just went like this.
Nice.
And he lived in Kumasi. He had never been to Accra. Came to Accra, went to fashion school. He came to Accra with no money. Right. So I want him to just come with, please. I don't want to tell your entire story, but you come and share your story and how you made it. I would love for him to share with the world. Yeah, Boydo. And I would reach out to him for you guys.
Yay, perfect. And then the second thing we like to do is we want to play out with a song. So give us a song that you've been listening to this past. Can be any song. Okay. And then we play out with that song. Sip.
Yeah, sip.
Oh, Joe Boy.
I don't know why. All of a sudden, from yesterday to today, that's the only song.
It's a really good song.
Yeah, really but my husband hates it. Sorry.
Have you seen the trends on TikTok and Reels with this song?
No.
That they poured it.
They're pouring
food
palm
and stuff.
oil and
really?
Dangerous
crazy.
Things,
oh,
you haven't seen. It's
Joe Boy said people should stop, so stop.
Yeah, guys, please stop. It's wild.
Oh,
it's wild.
no.
I'll show you some after this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So this has been super fun.
Yeah, very informative. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you too. I love it.
And we'll keep in touch. And then when we are doing our live show next time, we hope to see you there. We'll send you a special invitation.
I would love that. Okay.
So once again, thanks for watching and listening.
Yes.
It's Stay by Plan with Afi and Zuu. And it's been good. Thank you, Enu.
You're welcome. This was fun. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Wait. Relax.
Unfortunately, we cannot play the song that the guest chose due to copyright reasons. But if you check the description down below, we have a link so you can listen to the song yourself. Thank you for listening.